Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Mark Ashby, and you might be wondering, is that the Grillionaire? Yes, that's me. I am the one and only Grillionaire. And in today's video, I'm not really gonna be doing any cooking today. Today, we're gonna sit inside the kitchen, we're gonna sit at this table, and we're gonna talk about some knives. Let's get started. When I'm doing cooking videos, you're gonna regularly see me use my Miyabi knives, and those are some of the best knives that I ever owned. But I've been looking into some other different companies out there, and a lot of ones that maybe are a little bit more affordable. That Miyabi set I had was about $700. So I reached out to a company called the Cooking Guild, and I noticed that they have a lot of knives, and it says that they've had over 100,000 people order from them. So I slid into the Cooking Guild's DMs on Instagram and I said, hey, do you guys have any kind of ambassador program? I would love to review your knives. I've been doing a lot of research on them and I think that this is gonna be a good fit. And they sent me everything. Not everything, but they sent me a huge haul and I'm gonna share those with you today. The first knife we're gonna be talking about is our chef's knife. Now, every chef needs a good chef's knife. You want it to be weighted, you want it to be balanced, and of course, you want it to be sharp. And Hugh sent me the Onyx series 8-inch Damascus steel chef's knife. Let's open it up. First of all, let's talk about the packaging. It comes in this nice sleeve here that says Onyx series, which is good. But then we have this beautiful box that is magnetic right here. And when we open it up, that is our knife. It says Onyx series here, but this knife is a thing of beauty. You see, we can see that it's hand forged steel. It's definitely Damascus layered, and it's got a razor sharp edge. It is a full tang knife, which it goes all the way down right here, and it's also riveted by 3 different rivets and this mosaic rivet right here in the middle. And inside each box, I've already opened these a little bit. Inside each box, it gives you care instructions, how to take care of your knife. They are not dishwasher safe. You need to hand dry them, all kinds of stuff. But I just want to go knife by knife, and then we're gonna start cutting and chopping things up and see how they work. The next knife I have is the Nomad series petty knife or paring knife. Petty comes from the French word for petite, and in Japan, they use the petty knife as we call it a utility knife here in the States, or a paring knife. But again, this knife is absolutely beautiful. You've got the beautiful wood and resin handle with a mosaic pin. This is supposed to symbolize where the water meets the earth. And as you go down, you have this nice etching in here. I mean, you can see this compared to my hand. It is a very large knife. And it has a great weight on it. The balance is really nice as well. But this is definitely, for somebody like me that has bigger hands, having a nice big paring knife is gonna be a winner. Another knife I think every chef should have is a fillet knife. And they sent me this, part of the Nomad series again, but this fillet knife is absolutely amazing. It is extremely long. There it is against my hand, very long. Super lightweight, but this is the most part. Here, come down here. This is the most important part. On a fillet knife, you definitely want a lot of flexibility. So watch this bend. Look at that. Gorgeous bending, and it stays straight. So there's nothing there that is going to mess this up. And again, razor sharp all the way through. This knife, I love the handles on these. I love the mosaic patterns that we see on these. It really is a thing of art. Each Nomad series comes with the branding of the logo of the Cooking Guild right there, which I think is just a nice little touch at the end. Now this next one, I'm not gonna use very often, I'm not gonna lie to you, but definitely when I'm using brisket, when I'm smoking turkey, cutting a ham, anything that is a large cut of meat, they sent me this long slicer. And again, it is part of the Nomad series. What's crazy about this knife is it is 12 inches long on the blade. Take a look at this sword that they sent me. Looks like their other Nomads. It has the nice etching up here, razor sharp edge with nice handle. But this thing is almost as big as it's bigger than my cutting board width-wise. Look at that. I'll be cutting a lot of brisket with this. Like I said, bigger cuts of meat, this is definitely gonna be my go-to. I don't anticipate using it a whole lot in terms of normal prep because it just doesn't serve that purpose, but it is gonna get a lot of use on this channel. And the last one they sent me was a Santoku knife, which is like a chef's utility knife as well for cutting, chopping, things like that. And this is part of the Dynasty series here. And it's gonna look a little bit like the Onyx, but there are a few key differences. We can see that we have that nice forged steel right here going up, but this knife is a sanmai knife. What that means is they take 2 pieces of hard steel and a piece of soft steel and sandwich it together and then grind it down so that you have that soft steel on the edge and hardness on the outside. So this is a sanmai knife. It comes with the rosewood handle. It comes with 3 rivets as well, but right here, that's the little logo for the ninja guy on the Dynasty series. So that logo is here. Again, you have the Cooking Guild logo here. It has a great weight, but you can see this Santoku knife is going to be a winner when it comes to an all-around utility knife that I don't necessarily want to use my chef's knife for. And now the best part, let's cut up some fruits and veggies and see how they perform. Now for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna put away the long slice knife and the fillet knife. I don't know if they really have any testing that I can do here. I don't have any fish for the fillet knife, and I definitely don't have a warm brisket sitting on top where we can just slice up with the long slicer. So I'm gonna be using the Santoku, the chef's knife, and the Nomad petty knife. First up, a beefsteak tomato. Cuts through easily. See if we can get a really thin slice here. Pretty thin slice right there. So we're gonna switch up to the Santoku, see how it performs against this beefsteak tomato. So I'm gonna cut it down the center here. It went right through. We're gonna see if we can get another small piece. Look at that. Super thin. You can see my finger through that. Very sharp. Super easy. Cuts beautifully. Very even cuts. Extremely well weighted. And I think that's important when it comes to a knife. Having a weighted knife, for me, I like having a little bit more weight rather than a super light one that is gonna cut really fast as well. This one, you can take your time and it's gonna push through. Next, we're gonna do the onion chop. We're gonna slice it and dice it. First thing you gotta do is you gotta cut off the head of the onion. This is the chef's knife right here that slid right through. Then you're gonna come over here and you're gonna cut horizontally or vertically, whatever, through the root, just like that. So we're gonna cut this side with the chef's knife, the other side with the Santoku, and just see if it keeps performing like it should. I'm going to take our chef's knife first, and we're gonna just cut long slices this way, and then we'll dice up the other half. Nice, even cuts, perfectly cut onion slices here. You can see, performed beautifully. You gotta grip the onion right here, and you're just gonna slice through towards the root, but not all the way to the root. You're gonna do that once, twice, maybe 3 times. You're just gonna cut straight lines down, going all the way up towards the root. And you can see this thing's just cutting gorgeous. Now that we got the lines cut vertically and horizontally, hold and just cut straight down, fresh dice. Look at that. Perfectly even diced. We got 2 different cuts with this knife and it performed beautifully. We got the Dynasty Santoku in hand. We're holding the knife properly. Don't put your finger up here on the knife. That is not the proper way to do it. Start with the slices right here. And I will tell you, this thing is a workhorse. Look at this, super even cutting. Very thin pieces here. Start down here, grip it, take a knife and just slide it towards the root. Do it again, towards the root. Then straight line cuts down the center towards the root. And you can see this one is just cutting beautifully. Now the dice here, boom, boom. Wow, perfectly even dice onion as well here. Now we've only cut 2 vegetables in. I believe the Santoku is outperforming the chef's knife just by a little bit. I believe it does have a little bit of a sharper edge going down, so that's helping it glide a little bit easier. This one, not as sharp of an edge, but you know, it does perform the job equally. Next, we're taking the chef's knife again, and we're gonna put it up against this zucchini, cut it in half, 1 for 1, and we're gonna see how quickly it slices through. That cut, really smooth. I mean, it's just a cut. This is just a cut cucumber here, but this cut super quick, really nice. It didn't really stick to the blade very much. That was a good one. Now the Santoku against this cucumber. If I said zucchini earlier, I was wrong. I have a zucchini right over there. Now these are horribly uneven, so you know, go ahead and knock me in the comments, that's fine. They're giving us a wide range of different utilities in the kitchen and even outside on the grilling bed. We got a zucchini next. We're going to chop off its head with the paring knife, chop off the bottom as well. We're gonna cut right through here. I'm gonna try to do this without slicing my hand open. Right down the center, glides it all the way through. Right down the center. You can see how smooth this is cutting all the way through. Clean. I have nothing bad to say about this knife at all. And just the look of it is absolutely stunning. This right here is just a conversation piece right out the box. Super, super quick, sharp, easy. Now, obviously, every new knife is gonna come out of the box sharp, unless you're buying one of the really cheap ones. But these come out of the box razor sharp. It has given us clean cutting all the way through. I haven't had any issues. The only issue I had was the chef knife cutting through the skin of the beefsteak tomato, but otherwise it has performed beautifully. I think it'll cut raw meat really well if I'm trying to trim up a steak or anything like that. This is gonna be a good knife for that. We haven't seen much of the petty knife, but we're gonna use this apple right here, this Granny Smith apple. We're gonna use this as our test. So the way I would cut this is we're just gonna cut straight down, smooth. We're just cutting around the core of the apple, like that. Perfect. And all the seeds are in there. Throw it away. If you're doing some kind of cheese board or if you're just making dinner for the kids, this is how you get even slices with no seeds in it. Really sharp, really even slices of the apples here. I only tested 3 of my 5 knives today, and each of them performed flawlessly. The only nitpick I would have at this point is that the chef's knife may not cut a tomato perfectly, but that's why you have your Santoku to do that utility for you. The paring knife sliced that apple great, cut open the zoot really well. We got really even dices and slices when it came to the onion. The tomato came out really well. We got the cucumber that had great and even slices as well. We diced up some of this zoot right here. The Cooking Guild is going to be featured all over my channel. Now, I'm not paid by the Cooking Guild. This was sent to me, but I do have a link down below that you can check out where you get 15% off of your order if you use my code GrillMarkCo when you're checking out at the Cooking Guild. And they have lots of different ones. They have Serbian choppers. They have everything you can think of that is just a beautiful handmade knife. this is what that is. Cooking Guild is a great company, and these knives are gonna be staying in my kitchen. You're gonna see them in videos on the grilling deck outside, especially with a lot of fall stuff coming up. I'm really excited to do this. Check out the link below, or you can use code GRILLMARK when you're looking at all these knives at thecookingguild.com. Until next time, make sure you keep those grills fired up so the flavor doesn't go down. Get you some really, really great knives like these. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.